Yo, 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 welcome back. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Bunch of football, and we're ready to get into another card. How'd your guys' weekend go? Michael and Andrew back again?
It was good. I had a solid ass college football Saturday.
Bad.
Yeah, looking back at my card, I mean,
Well, it wasn't that bad actually.
I was on a 2-game losing streak with my do or die, so this was a must win for me. And Tennessee wins by 4. I had them at 3.5. So that was big. I was gonna say, Alina, I feel like yours was just average. Really, it wasn't
Yeah, it
bad.
was it was just the do both my weeks were fine, like record wise, but I allocated the do or dies in the wrong games is what it came down to, which is obviously important, but yeah,
Few,
it's
few
not.
few notes. We talked about it last week, but like it did feel like finally football was back when like watching the SEC play because like they had fans, they had all their like game day traditions. It was on CBS, it was on ESPN. People were arguing on Twitter about all that bullshit, and it felt fucking awesome. Um, I told you how the Miami Florida State game was going to go, and that's exactly how it went. Florida State is awful. They're so bad. And I think this is one of those. So you know how last year when Texas played LSU, it came down to the final minute, and Texas had a chance to win that football game. Imagine if Texas wins that game. Does LSU go like 8-4, 9-3, and Texas go 11-1, 12-0? Like this just feels like Miami's kind of playing a bunch of like not that good teams, but just giving their own team so much confidence that it's like, are they gonna fucking just outperform? In 2 weeks they go to Clemson, so like we'll see then how good they are. But it was great to watch SEC football. Bama looked like Bama. Tennessee looks pretty good. Mississippi State and Mike Leach, I think that's going to be fucking awesome to watch all year.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because, like, in a normal season, you do see like a lot of different programs schedule non-conference, like the first 2 or 3 games of the season, like playing a bunch of small schools. Like, I think that's kind of a mirror image to some of the schools that kind of have a softer beginning to their season. So, like, even Notre Dame too. Look at them, got to play Duke and USF to start the season. So
Yeah.
I think um, pretty nice for them to do that. And I also think like the ACC is smart and know that Notre Dame and Clemson are the two best teams. So they want both their records to be really good by the time they have to play each other for like good ACC like ratings and stuff. Because Notre
That
Dame,
that and then you throw in like North Carolina, that's probably Miami maybe now, but like North Carolina going in was the third best team behind Notre Dame and Clemson,
yeah,
and
they play week one.
they played Syracuse, then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then they played a non-conference shit school, and like they get Boston College, who's not supposed to be good. So like they are kind of planning it well. So and you know what? Like I think Miami. I mean, they get Clemson, but it's like they got UAB, Louisville, and Florida State. I think everyone knew. Like I think everyone continues to try to like make Florida State good, and they just aren't. Like I just don't think they're good. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to take a while for them to
Especially
get good.
when Florida State already lost to Georgia Tech, and then Georgia Tech loses to Syracuse. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty. That pretty much defines where they're at right now, pretty
yeah,
clearly.
for sure. And but I mean, for normally the ACC kind of sucks because like maybe one team's okay, then it's Clemson. At least this year though, like Miami seems like a team that's pretty good. Pitt, I don't think they're that good, but at least they're not blowing games, which I think they do in a normal year. And then you got obviously North Carolina is good, Notre Dame's good, and then Clemson's a top 2 team in the country.
Yeah. What about you, Elena? What do you think?
Yeah, they no way they'd ever have Notre Dame and Clemson in an early schedule. That would just ruin it. It'll all the hype will be on that matchup and November 7th. Glad they kept it there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like so with how shitty Florida State is, I wish they would have maybe like moved this game up, and then I don't even know if it can really work out like that because I was looking at their schedule. So they put Wake Forest back on December 12th. Is that like
Yeah.
confirmed?
Yeah, that's so like
Well, they need it. Well, they need it now, I guess. With
I was
all
gonna
the
say
COVID shit.
Notre Dame had like 18 to 24 people have to like
Yeah.
self-isolate. So like
yeah.
they put it to the 12th instead of this weekend.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a good like I don't want to say punishment, but like going for like if other teams have to do something similar, like you lose that bye week before your last regular season game and like the conference championship if you're like a better team. So I think that's like
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to call it a punishment, but like it's kind of like
it can work. I think it can work both ways though, because you see some teams who like if they play every week leading up, they're just on fire and they don't want to break.
Lose momentum, yeah.
Or other teams like I think like a Clemson would like it because maybe they have a few guys banged up and they can turn on at any point.
Sure.
But in Notre Dame, I don't know. They could be one way or the other. I think with like Tommy Rees and a young offense, I think if they're clicking, they don't want to stop playing because like they just want to continue to ride the momentum that they're picking up.
I'd like to see some stats with how Kelly performs off of a bye to see if I would really – if that would even really matter. I feel like it's not that good for some reason. Or against – I guess a bye week against like a ranked opponent would be more relevant.
Yeah, like or on the road.
I think it's like pretty good. The outlier was like it's either really bad or really good, but except for last year Michigan.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That was off on a
bye that week.
Yeah, they had a bye before that, but
I remember. Yeah, that was pitiful though. Like holy.
Yeah, but I mean, not a huge lineup Saturday, I don't think, but I think there's not a lot, but I think there's some solid games Saturday. Like we're gonna talk about, but like what I love about the SEC, because like let's be real, they're the best conference in football. Like they have so many good teams, and with them playing an only schedule, like Bama plays A&M week 2. Like that's crazy.
They should fucking just do this every year and take the first 3 weeks off. Like
yeah, right.
Playing Sam Houston, Tech State.
Auburn at Georgia week 2. I mean, that's fucking.
Do you guys think LSU though is that good?
No, I don't. Like I think they lost like 16.
Lost so much.
They lost 16 of their 20
starters. When everyone's saying like they're in the same caliber as like Clemson, Ohio State, Bama, I don't know if that's really true.
They're not.
Like they're like top 10 of reloading versus rebuilding. But to put them in that category is kind of a little bit.
But here's the difference. Like Bama rotates so many guys. Like LSU lost all of their players, and obviously that team was insane last year because they had so many guys get drafted. But like you said, the difference is like coming in who's gonna be like the guys at Alabama. Like you know what I mean? Like Mac Jones was some white quarterback and everyone's like, oh, and then like he's starting, but like he played well last year and he plays well this year or so far game 1. But like for LSU it was like, like do we really think this quarterback's going to do great? Now granted they scored a lot of points, so it wasn't on him, but like their defense lost everyone and
their corner
who was sick.
Oh, he didn't even play?
No. So like their best player coming back didn't even.
Was he COVID or was it just something else?
No, it was like something else. He had to get hospitalized for it, and then he was cleared on. Like he was negative on every COVID test, but he had to go to the hospital for something, and then he was released Sunday.
Wait, the presidential debates are tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, it's at 9.
Wow, that'll be comedy too. But yeah, so that guy being sick, I mean, that's not going to make that big of a difference. Like he'll guard their number 1, obviously, but
it won't be that. But it would have made some because that dude's literally the best corner in football.
Yeah, it'll. Like, I mean, I'm sure that guy's like the leader of that defense. Like
for sure,
is oozing out of him probably. So
for sure. Plus, it's like I think it like they're not used to offenses like Mike Leach and like playing them week 1. Like you can go back and watch like Washington State and stuff like that. But I think like that's tough. Like LSU is not like normal years. LSU probably starts with like Louisiana Tech week 1 and like even if they still win by 28. Yeah, so like
so that could be actually back to the original point how that could actually like expose some of these teams that may need that cupcake
for sure.
To
I think
get into shit.
Georgia, it would have exposed if they played someone better than Arkansas because they just like
They looked bad at first. Yeah.
JT Daniels just got cleared. We'll get into that when we talk about the Georgia game. But like that's another one who like if they're playing like a Mississippi State, like how do they play? You know what I mean? Like
I think Mississippi State could have beat.
Well, that's the thing. I think Mississippi State's good, but the problem is like they're gonna have dead games though. Like playing all these defenses, like they're gonna have a game where KJ Costello is like 25 of 60 and they score.
Yeah, I mean they're just
points.
gonna be throwing. I think if you put this game, the LSU Mississippi State game, on the back end of the schedule, a lot different outcome. And I mean
Mississippi State might still win, but I think that LSU has the lead in more of the game. Like
one, they obviously have the film, which is a huge advantage. But I just think like first game, like it was a perfect storm for them to win that. That top corner not being there. I actually when you think about it, come down to like really one possession. And I know they lost by 10, but it was like one possession that like swings that whole game. So an All-American corner can 100% make that difference.
For sure. Let's get into games, though, because I think we got 5 big games.
Yeah. So, real quick, right before we talk about how our week 3s went, just want to bring up our sponsor again. Thank them real quick. Go and check out SaveOurLivers.com. If you're planning on drinking a lot this weekend, like we talked about in the past podcasts, it's a great site to find anything that you might need to relieve a bad hangover. Like just for me this Saturday, another case where I kind of could have used one. I went straight from watching college football all day to watching UFC for 5 hours. So it was an absolute bender into college or NFL Sunday. So Victory Lap also has its own kit on their website. So similar, just find what you might like the most, whatever suits you and think will help you the most. Any Victory Lap kit purchases will help support our podcasts and our content. So go give it a check out. So getting into how our performances were in week 3, Michael pretty much standalone, great week. So I'll save his for last. I avoided do or die punishment and burger challenge / Sarah Spain torture. My first do or die when I selected it, I didn't even know it was a Thursday night game. So that's kind of a little irresponsible of me not to even know it was on Thursday. But that was the UAB South Alabama. And the UAB won by 32 points, covering 7 very easily.
Murder.
Pretty average week for me. I went.
Wait. We gotta just bring this up. We don't even have to talk about it. But you tried.
Sure.
You tried fucking Tulane, and Tulane turned around and fucked you.
I was gonna
get to Tulane.
I was gonna get to that part. So I went 4-3-1, including 1-1 on do or dies. Yeah, I tried to stick it to Tulane for fucking me over in that Navy game, and it was like Southern. I took Southern Miss plus 3.5, and Tulane won like 66-23. Like
but
not even
Southern Miss like started the game like 14-0 or like
close again.
Yeah, I checked that score. I was like, damn, that's a good pick by Nagy.
Yeah, Mike texted me. He was like, damn, they could go 2-0 on do or dies. I'm like, nope. But anyway, I won like half a unit on week 3, so pretty normal for me.
As average as you could possibly be.
Yeah, it's like so my record's 8-9-1.
What you strive to do.
Yeah, my overall is 8-9-1. I'm still 4.6 units in the hole for the season, 2-3 on do or die plays. And then since the UAB game was Thursday and the Southern Miss game was Saturday, I'm currently on a 1 do or die losing streak.
Ooh.
And then Andrew did okay. One game fucked him over pretty bad. But he also had a tie in there. He went
I had 2 ties, I think, didn't I?
Yeah, you had 2 ties. He went 4-3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to put the blame where I have to give the blame where it's due. I got a text when the under 77 was looking pretty good. I got a text saying I was going to go 1-0-1, which is the tie was another game. Michael texted me that, and then they end up fucking backdoor over.
Wait, what game? Was that the UCF?
Yeah. So that one's on you.
I did, but like East Carolina scored like 3 touchdowns in 7 minutes.
Yeah, they had to score. It was looking so good.
I was
And then
looking at it and
it
I
was
was like,
3 straight touchdowns. It's like, someone take a goddamn knee.
and UCF was like going 3 and out. The 3 passing plays wasn't even trying to run the clock out.
Yeah. And then when they did get a good drive, they just fucking punched it in as fast as they fucking could.
Yeah, that was bad. All right.
So they scored Coastal Carolina, whatever the fuck it was. They scored with like a minute to go, like just prevent. So didn't even fucking.
Yeah, I fucked up the what you did this week. You went 3, 4, and 2, or
Okay.
or 2. You only had 7 plays, so you went 2, 3, and 2. My bad. You went 2,
Okay.
3, and 2. The Army Cincinnati game kind of took us by surprise. We didn't really think that was going to go how it went. But Andrew made a responsible play this week, and his do or die was only a 2-unit play.
Yeah, I was not confident on that one at all. And
right. So he preserved his units really well. So on the season or through the college football year, Alina's still out in front as a group, up 17.4 units, and I think you're 2 and 1 on do or dies now. So I mean, still in a really good driver's seat for
the Super Bowl,
winning the units for this year. But I don't know. I've been told myself last week, if I want a chance, I gotta start putting some big units on the
some big dogs.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, and then
see, you guys. Wait before you get into his. I think I didn't want to like give away my secret, but now that the FCS schedules are kind of over, I think you guys missed a golden opportunity to hammer some FCS lines.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead.
But we'll get some canceled games in Central Arkansas. Will get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Me using one of my do or dies as a revenge pick also wasn't very responsible of me, but I would not take it back. So Michael standalone week went 5-1-1 with the plus his do or die win. Like you mentioned earlier, Tennessee -3.5 came out on top by 4 points.
I needed it too badly.
Was it a 4-unit play?
A 3-unit play.
3-unit play. So Michael won. Michael finished week 3 plus 7 units, and on the season now, he is 12-10-1 and just under 2 units in the black. So Michael's back in black, and I'm alone in the red. But new week, new card, new picks. Let's get to it. Thank you. So we got 5 games that we're gonna highlight before we get to our card, just like we did last week. I think did we do five games last week too?
5 or 4, yeah.
Okay. So all right, you guys got anything else to say about your week 3 picks, or just want to get right into it?
Ready to give people winners.
All right. So week 4, these are some of the highlight games. We're gonna start with Memphis going into SMU. SMU is plus 2.5, and the over/under is 74.5.
Oh, it's 2.5.
Yeah, Memphis -2.5, SMU plus.
Oh shit! I had it at 1.5.
I fucking love SMU in this at home. They're 2-0. They haven't played anyone. They've scored a shit ton of points, but Memphis in their one game did not look the best. And they haven't played in a while, and they've had some weird practicing alignments because of COVID and shit. I think SMU is going to be fired up for this game at home. I think they come out and look really good. I mean, it's going to be back and forth. There's going to be probably 0 defense played in this game, but I like SMU.
See, I don't know. I think the over might be a safe play here, honestly.
Like, even though it's a lot, like I don't know if anyone stops anyone.
I think I like the over, but I also I like I think it's I know I just went on the other end of that argument with saying the FCS games are, like hammer those, but yeah. So why hasn't Memphis played in 2 weeks? Like, have games been getting canceled or what?
COVID, yeah, their games have been canceled.
Was it them or was the other teams the ones that were screwing it
Both,
up?
I believe. I think one was them and one was the other team.
Well,
Okay.
Memphis played what? Texas State week 1?
No, they
Arkansas
played
State.
Arkansas State.
Oh, okay. I can't speak for
So it was Houston and Tulane that got bumped to the back, right?
Yep.
Wow. Memphis has a late FCS game too, just a heads up. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really close game. So I honestly am not too fond of the spread, 2.5. But I think Memphis wins by 3 or more ish. I guess if I had to do that, but I like the over here though a lot. I think it's a fucking shootout.
Yeah, I remember I watched that. That was kind of the reason I was bringing up that first game Memphis played at the beginning of the season against Arkansas State.
Yeah, they dropped 24 on them. Like, holy.
Yeah, but Memphis came out super slow. Like the beginning of the game, Arkansas State had the lead for like.
They were winning at halftime.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was kind of close, but like I think Memphis is gonna start too slow. But I do think they could kick it up in the second half to where I don't rather not bet the over or under. But I think SMU like gets going and like keeps it on, whereas Memphis might take a quarter to kick it into gear. So I like SMU plus points here for sure. Definitely could win it outright, but plus 2.5 in a shootout, like I'll definitely take plus points. All right. So any more comments on that game?
No.
All right, so next game we're going to talk about, we got North Carolina going into Boston College, who just played their first game. North Carolina is coming in as 13.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 55.
So BC opened the year, beat the shit out of Duke, played last week, barely beat Texas State. I think that says more about BC was completely just focusing on North Carolina that week during practice than it does like if they're bad or good. Because I think
Texas State played SMU really good too, though. Lost by 3.
Did they?
Yeah.
They didn't
SMU,
play?
or no, it was 7. It was 7, 31-24. Week
7. Okay, that's still. I mean, that's pretty tough though. I mean, SMU is a good offense, so that's actually not bad at all. So maybe Texas State isn't too bad, but they lost to Texas San Antonio, so they got to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I lost by 3 there. Holy
yeah,
shit.
but I think this is one of those games where beginning of the game, since North Carolina hasn't played in a while, I think they're going to start pretty slow, but then the second half probably open it up, kind of like the Syracuse game, except for like not as many turnovers and stuff like that. They won't be that sloppy. I bet this will be a good first half game. I would not bet on it, but if I were, I would look at BC first half, North Carolina full game.
Interesting. Do you know what this first half line is by chance?
It's 13. It's 13.5. It's probably 6.5, 7.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think I like North Carolina to win here, like to cover here, easy full game. But yeah, I'm not sure how they could start off slow a little bit just with not playing for near a month. Did they have games canceled too? Was it
North Carolina?
Yeah, or it was WCU or whoever the fuck that was.
Yeah, they had 2 games canceled.
Who was the other one?
It got rescheduled, so it doesn't say who it is, like on their schedule type thing.
Oh, okay. Was it Wake? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think they could start out slow, but I think easy 13.5 cover for them. I think they win.
BC's like offense isn't that good. Like North Carolina's defense isn't the best, but if they get stops, like North Carolina can flat out sling the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
like
Duke's put up an average of 25 points in their 2 games against Texas State and Duke. So
yeah,
I know Notre Dame struggled with them too, or with Duke as well, but
yeah, but Duke moved the ball in Boston College. They had the ball like inside the 20 like 3 times and only scored 1 time.
Who's the quarterback again?
Phil Jurkovich. Yeah, he transferred from Notre Dame.
Yeah,
he can't throw, but he can run well. I mean,
he'll dump down his leg against this team.
For sure.
I think so. Yeah, I like Carolina here.
Yeah, the first half. You're talking about the first half over for North Carolina?
No, just their line.
Oh, their halftime line?
Yeah.
It's 7.5.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I mean. If it's outside of football number, I think it could be like a 7-point game at half, and then North Carolina wins like by more than 20.
Maybe by a half point.
Get to 8.
Or,
I really don't know what to think about this. I don't know what to think about North Carolina's defense so far.
they're
Um,
stout.
I mean, they look okay. I really like their offense, though. I'm staying away from this game on my card, but on there, if I had to pick one, I'm close to minus 13.5 for NC. Like I like over 55 a little bit more.
That's huge to keep it inside a football number, though. 13.5.
I do agree with that. I don't know. I just like feel like it's like asking for a backdoor cover if they're like up 20, and then if I just take the over, like the overheads with the backdoor versus getting fucked. But like I said, I don't really like that game. Like I think that's pretty.
So are we still right on the narrative that Syracuse doesn't want to play, or is that gone now? Or maybe that was one.
I mean, they didn't look like they really wanted to play that much against Pitt. I don't think Georgia. I think UCF like literally just stabbed Georgia Tech's heart and might have killed him. Like honestly,
You think so?
Yeah, like dude, watching that game. I mean, it's either that or like Florida State is the worst team in the ACC. Like that's the only other.
I think that could be more likely.
Yeah, for sure. That could be easily likely, but because that's Central Florida is a good football team. I think Georgia Tech though was like super fired up to play Central Florida, and like once they got their ass kicked,
they almost beat them. They beat themselves kind of too there. So
yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I think the ACC is just going to be other than North Carolina, Miami, Clemson, and Notre Dame. It's just going to be super fucking weird the whole year. Like I think teams will beat teams that you're just like, what the fuck? Last week they looked good, and then they oh my god, it looked like shit other weeks. So it's like I think the ACC outside of the top 4 is just gonna be a hectic fucking conference.
Yeah, I think so. You put any stock in Vatech? See, the only thing.
Oh, Vatech, I think might be the 5th best team actually. They look pretty good.
And they in North Carolina plays them Vatech next week. So the BC. I mean, I know BC's 2-0 here, but could be a little look ahead, knowing that Vatech's much better than BC.
Who's home?
Next week it's North Carolina
against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Boston College is on the road.
That could be like a 4.5 just for like. It just depends how North Carolina plays this week. If they keep blowing out, then they'll probably get like a touchdown or so still.
Yeah, true. Virginia Tech looked pretty good against NC State, and they played Duke this week, so they got to hammer them to get anything in their favor. But yeah, I like North Carolina in the game, though. I think their defense looked decent against Syracuse. They did what they needed to do, so that doesn't tell us too much. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, speaking of them, or Virginia at least, that's the next game we're going to talk about. Virginia's going into Clemson, 28.5-point underdogs, and then the over/under is 54.5.
28.5? That line started at 30.5.
Right outside the football number that Mike loves.
I mean, I don't know. Like this, like Virginia's undefeated, but like I don't know. What are we doing?
Who did they play?
Clemson's definitely gonna fucking roll. I think. Like Virginia's offense is horrible. Clemson's at home. Clemson's geared up to play. They had a bye week. I think Clemson wins.
Oh, they only played Duke. So many of these teams have like beat like.
That's
Duke
what I'm saying. Like it's like they've all played like the same teams. I think Clemson beats the shit out of Virginia. I don't think Clemson's good. I think Duke's one of the worst teams in the ACC, and like these people like everyone is because it's the only team they've played, but like Duke sucks. So it's like they beat them, but they suck.
Yeah. So was that Clemson game at home when they played Wake? Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't.
It was at Wake.
Okay.
And then they played the Citadel at home.
And they shut them out. Yeah, I think Clemson – this is a look ahead, though. They got Miami the following week.
They do, but I think Virginia's that bad.
Yeah. 28.5. It's close. And what's the total here?
54.5.
54. I see Clemson putting up 49 easily, so it's like 2 touchdowns for
yeah. I think that's a good thing to keep in your
Or a
mind.
touchdown for wait, yeah, I like the over. What the hell? Virginia has to score one touchdown. Clemson's putting up 49. I think.
Right. I also like the over just looking at it, but the fact that you said Clemson plays Miami, right?
Next week,
Right.
yeah.
So that in mind, Clemson could definitely run get some starters
Ooh.
save their
True. And Miami's coming off a bye that week too.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's the first real ACC game this year.
Yeah.
right.
That's
I
big.
think I prefer Clemson minus 28.5. Just get a really nice lead, but still cover at the end of the game. But
That would if they're gonna cover,
But
I think
then the
Virginia's
under's gonna hit too.
I think Virginia's offense is so fucking bad that if
Yeah.
Clemson's up 42 points in the third quarter, I don't see Virginia scoring 2 touchdowns.
even against the second team, they
No, I don't at all. Because Clemson has fans. I'm sure their families will be there. They'll fucking want these kids are never gonna get in. They'll want to play. Wake Forest, I think for twos, if you're a second string guy, you're up 40 points and you go into a game and no fans are there, I think that's a little tougher than playing at home with fans.
Yeah, that's true. Virginia put up 40 or 38 against Duke though.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
I just like the
20. I think the over. I think even if Clemson covers, the over hits. I think
21 points in the fourth quarter though
for Virginia.
Virginia, wow.
Yeah, I think Clemson wins.
So they were losing going into that fourth quarter for them. Holy shit!
I think
they were down 20-17 going in the fourth quarter, and they scored 21 unanswered.
I think that first line is if we had the first line that you mentioned, what'd you say? It was 30.5?
Yeah, 30.5.
That would be a little tougher, but I think Clemson wins this 30 to 34 points.
I agree with that.
So you don't think they score 49 though?
I don't know, bro. They could. I'm staying away from that game. That game is definitely not on my card.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, let's get into the real games.
Yeah, all right. So we got two more highlighted games to talk about. Two big SEC or bunch of big SEC teams. First one's going to be A&M going into Alabama. Alabama right now is minus 17, and the over/under is 51.5.
Man,
so we're seeing.
I think the way that because obviously if we looked at how A&M looked awful week one, that's a clear look ahead game though, right? They got
A&M, yeah, but they're also. I agree. It's 17-12 is. Vandy's horrible, but
yeah,
that's also your first game. Don't you want to look a little I don't know. I always go back Bama also has a look ahead, and they play Missouri, and it's they look just flawless.
True, but I think the difference
is third straight year starting quarterback at home.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I think I think basing your pick off of last week, I think is a wrong decision. Though I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pick it because you're just I think Alabama kills them because they're Alabama, that's one thing. But I think I agree with you on the point of A&M's gonna play way better. Even if they get beat by 21, they're still gonna play. If they play how they play this Saturday, they would beat Vandy by 30.
I think the skill gap between Alabama and A&M is enough where you don't want to show anything that you're potentially saving for A&M. So I think, for Bama if you're A&M. So I think they may have been holding back on the playbook a little bit. This is probably just being a lot pretty optimistic. I would say. You shouldn't have to play Vandy close no matter what if you're A&M.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense. But I think Bama is that much better than A&M where they have to. When they know that you're playing them in literally 1 week and you can skate by a Vandy team, you may play a lot different than you normally would just because it's listen, to win this game, we're going to play perfect and we want to surprise them with as much as we possibly can. So we're going to give them the blandest shit of all time playing Vandy, scrape out with the win because at the end of the day, that Vandy win's going to mean nothing for us either way when it comes down to playoff time because they got to beat Bama no matter what. So fuck that first game.
I think
that's the mentality. I like it, but if not, then they just look like shit, and it's gonna be ugly.
So what do you like? What do you like on the?
I would, if I'm going to bet this, it's 1,000% Bama. There's no way I take A&M with the points here. I think this is one of those games, like a classic Bama game where like 35-42 to like 7, like something like that, like where they just don't let up any points.
See, I think so too, but like Nick Saban loves to get his twos in, even if they're up like 24 points in the fourth quarter. So
Okay,
like
yeah.
I could see it being like Bama has completely dominated this game and then they win by 17. Like
Yeah, that could
like
be. I mean, I just looked back at Missouri and they only won by 18 or 19, whatever. So
that's what I'm saying. Like the two's got 2 touchdowns scored on them, I think. But like this is one of those same thing. Like Bama first half has covered insane amount lately.
yeah, that 7 o'clock pick I told you about that I forgot to or tweet at was Bama first half, and that was
Yeah,
it.
I took them last week in first half, not full game, because I was like,
Yeah,
Missouri's somehow going to
exactly.
cover this.
Bama first half. I would love to see a stat on Bama first half.
I think it was
last week.
literally 10-2. The only 2 games they lost was the 2 games they actually lost. So
Yeah, who was that? Auburn and
LSU.
LSU. Yeah, so that makes perfect sense.
So I would lean more. I think Bama wins this game. Like I don't think
So
A&M
what is
actually
it?
has a chance to win this game.
So
I bet the
what's
first half
now
line
here?
17 and
Probably
a
like
half.
4. It's got to be like 13 or
What
12 or
first half?
something. Yeah,
It's
I bet
probably
you.
10 and a half, 11 and a half.
You
Here,
think
I'll-
so? 'Cause it was 26, right, last week, and it was like 17 and a half for the first half line.
Last week it was 20 and a half first half
9.5.
line.
Oh, it was
9 and a
17 when
half?
I looked at it.
No, this week.
On
This-
FanDuel it was. What is it?
This week it's 9.5.
Oh, wow, I'd lock that in.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're up 7, kick a last second field goal right before half. I love the first half line.
Mm-hmm.
Nagy, what do you
9
think
and a
about this
half.
game?
Wow, you might need to lock that in now before it goes
Right,
to
you
10.
might have to. That might be something you do like literally right now.
For sure.
Before it goes to 10.5.
Yeah.
I agree. Like this is kind of similar to like I know obviously comparing NFL and college football doesn't always like serve really well, but like the Patriots when they played the Dolphins week 1 and only won 21-11, it was just like, okay, we're better than Dolphins. We play the Seattle Seahawks next week. Let's like not expose any new stuff that we're going to do with Cam Newton against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Like I definitely like obviously I think Alabama's going to win. But like 51.5 like is so low, I think, for this game. Especially with the fact like I was gonna say that too. Michael already brought it up, but like bring in the twos, like A&M's just gonna be slinging the ball like the whole second half.
Jimbo's not taking his starters out. Like, let's be honest.
It's gonna be amazing. Like there's gonna be so many points in the second half. Like if there's not already a ton in the first half, like 51.5 is like take the over. But I'll get back to that one when we get to our cards. Michael, did you take a pick?
Yeah, I said Alabama first half if I were to pick something.
Okay.
Yeah, same. At 9
All
and
right,
a half. That's
last highlighted game we're going to talk about. 2 interesting teams that were kind of interesting to watch. Week 1 definitely had 2 tales of 2 different halves. We got Auburn going into Georgia. Georgia is the favorite, -6.5, and the over/under is 45.
So everyone keeps like Auburn did not look good, yes, but Kentucky's a good football team, so I think that's a tough game to start with. I think
that
Bowden
pick 6 was
wild, yeah.
that literally like changes the entire
sure.
game.
For
like,
sure.
Entire game.
I think Bo Nix did what he needed to do, though, not make mistakes and just run the offense. I think Auburn has enough athletes. Like, if you could just get them the ball, not turn it over, like, that's when Auburn's going to be good. I think each week their defense is just going to get better because I think they lost a lot of guys last year, and I think they're just going to get better. Georgia, I mean, their defense looked phenomenal the entire game. Like, it was pretty evident that that was a strong point. They started a kid that wasn't supposed to start. I mean, you got to remember – JT Daniels, the transfer from USC, is supposed to start. They also had Jamie Newman, the transfer from Wake Forest, who opted out this year. So technically this guy was like the 3rd string quarterback. And they switched quarterbacks at half and went with a true freshman. Or they either went from a true freshman to another guy or another guy to a true freshman. Came out, they started clicking. They ended up blowing out Arkansas like they should have. But JT Daniels just got cleared magically. Shocker there, right? Like he wasn't cleared, and now they look like shit, and they're about to play Auburn. Now he's cleared.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a way different Georgia team. I think that first game was really just
Arkansas covered.
they did. But like I don't know, like Auburn, I think this is Gus's year to either make or break. I think if he doesn't do well, like I think he is completely on the hot seat. But I don't know. Georgia has too many 5-star athletes around. If JT Daniels looks pretty good, I think Georgia might roll in this game.
What did Auburn do last year in postseason? Did they go to BCS or no?
No, they lost to Minnesota in the Outback Bowl.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so speaking, we didn't even touch on the upsets or Oklahoma.
No, we didn't.
What the fuck? When you said 5-star athletes, I read the thing. It was like I don't know what the number was. 100. It wasn't 100, but let's say like 65-star athletes in Kansas City. We had goose egg.
Yeah.
Crazy, but anyways, yeah. Back to this game. This is a tough one. You think? What'd you say? You think Georgia's gonna win?
I said I think Georgia's gonna win. I think whether they like cover or not, I think that all hinges on how well JT Daniels plays.
I got you. Yeah, I think this is gonna be. Remember the Georgia Auburn game last year? Just a fucking barn burner till the like almost the very end. Like it kind of like got out of reach. I think if I'm remembering this correctly.
I think that was 2 years ago.
Oh, it was 21-14. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, it was cool. Okay.
Georgia was up 21-0, and then and then Auburn scores 14 in the fourth quarter to make it close. That's what it was.
That's right. And then I think they had the ball with a chance to actually go down.
Yeah, they did. Yep, I remember watching that. I could see it going something similar to that, but yeah, with the question marks at quarterback for Georgia makes it a lot more interesting that they're getting this many points. I guess they're really valuing that defense, and I think definitely with how like kind of I guess you could say sketchy Auburn looked against Kentucky with them not being like a powerhouse SEC school, that they don't have that reputation, I guess, and Auburn kind of struggle with them with a much more. I mean, if you're gonna, I'm not saying Bo Nix is better than any of the Georgia quarterbacks will be, but I think you'd be like, okay, I'll take Bo Nix for this first game if you're gonna play that third string guy. So it's like you got the better quarterback situation, and Auburn and Georgia looked like they were both struggling to score points for a little bit there. So it was like, but Auburn's playing Kentucky.
Yeah, Georgia definitely has a better defense than Kentucky. So
yeah, I just see this being a struggle for Bo Nix. I don't think Georgia's defense is going to be surprised by much out of Auburn. I think they can handle them. I think it's going to be one of those grinded out games where Georgia will have a tough time scoring too, but I think Auburn's going to have a tougher time. And if I had to, I go Georgia, but that's such a tough line. I think 6.5 is a little too much. I'd love Georgia like +4 or something maybe, but I can see this being like a 6-point game literally, or like a 5-6 point game somehow. But I think Georgia will win. Probably not going to bet it.
It's just so weird. Like I introduced it. Both teams like played so differently in between the first and the second half. It felt like, like especially Georgia, but like Auburn just like kicked it into gear really hard. But Georgia's offense just fucked them so hard in the first half, and the defense just like showed up and saved their asses and like at least kept like momentum like in the ballpark for them to take back. But yeah, 6.5. Like I think this is going to be a low scoring game.
I was going to say under 2, but I didn't. It's just so low scoring at that. If you're going to go under,
like if you were to pick the over under, I would side with the under. I think it's going to be like 20-17, 23-20. But I prefer Auburn +6.5. Like I said, I think this is going to be a 3-6 point game for sure.
Wrong. Georgia's going to win.
But it's not going on my card. That's just what I think. I didn't get to watch. I only got to watch maybe like half of each half for both those games. So like I don't have a confidence saying what's going to happen in that game for sure. But regardless, that's all the highlighted games we're going to talk about. Probably going to see some of these games come back up in our cards. But let's get right into that. Just like every week, we're going to go through our cards, save our do or dies for last, and I'm sure we'll fry each other at some point for somebody's pick. But
So wait, are you both on a
this
1-game?
week-
Are you both on a 1-game losing streak?
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention.
I am, yeah.
This week, me and Olina can only do up to 2 do or die bets. You only have to do 1, but we can only do 2, and lose both of them. Obviously, punishments back on the board. I think our punishment we have in line for Michael and I is fine. Do you want to throw out someone you'd like to tweet at to be on the train with us?
Yeah,
Thunberg.
Huh?
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg. Yeah, that'd actually be funny.
That's
Yeah,
that chick who she knows what's going to happen to the world.
The time person of the year. She's like 8.
Yeah.
She's like playing on the playground talking about global warming.
She won the time person.
Oh yeah, the British girl.
No, she's Russian. Russian, isn't she?
Or whatever.
She's one of them.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we just have a note.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think of some like other funny punishments. Like the burger thing's funny, but that is a really funny one. But I
was also thinking you have to make a TikTok and do a different TikTok dance every day. Like
that would be funny. That'd be funnier than the burger, I think.
I think that would be hilarious, and it's like also like you have to pick one. Like you have to do like
the same song each time.
We'll tell you a famous like we'll send you like Addison Rae's TikTok to one of her dances, and you have to do that dance that day. But then the next day we'll send you like fucking one of the douchebags in the Sway House doing some dance, and you have to do that dance that day. Like,
but it has to be like a duet, so it's like side by side.
Yes. I think that
you got to get the duet.
I think that would be hilarious.
That'd be so.
You think that's better, like in place of the burgers? You think that'd be funny?
I think I would let you. I mean, I think you can pick. Yeah, but I think either would be funny.
Yeah, I think both those are hilarious.
/ embarrass, because like, dude.
The TikTok
would be embarrassing, and you'd have to actually learn to dance and like take some time and do it. But like the burgers, like we do this in an hour, you're fucking eating 10 burgers. That's a lot of fucking burgers. Like by the end of the show, you're literally just gonna be like so full, not wanting to talk. Like that would be pretty funny too.
The one good thing for Olina is that like he has such a big lead, he could just keep making his do or dies like 2 units. So like. In reality, if you do have to take the burger challenge, it might only be 6 burgers.
Yeah. That is definitely like a solid one. But he also could go big and just continue to extend it.
Yeah, you could just bury us like in the next 3 weeks.
Be up like 30 units in week 4.
Yeah, like.
But we'll see. We're about to go through. So hopefully next like 5 or 10 minutes, figure out what you're comfortable with your do or die amounts. So who wants to start? Anybody?
I'll start. All right. My card, phenomenal weekend last weekend. I'm hot. Let's go with Baylor -3, Alabama first half -9.5, Navy -6.5, UAB. This is the kids' game. They're honoring the kids. You can't not pick UAB this weekend. They're going to play their hearts out. They're so excited. No, I will never lock it because I don't want to put it up to the kids.
Yeah, that's dangerous territory right there.
Yeah. We're not going to lock that. So we got UAB -20.5 for the kids game. This is like the Purple Heart game in BC. You just take it, UAB. If it loses, you live with it. North Carolina -13.5, and then I will save my do or die.
How many?
Is
5 plays.
5.
BC's doing a game for the kids too?
No. Every year, BC. Have you ever watched the 9/11? It's the Rip My Bad.
Yeah.
The red bandana game.
Okay, that's this week.
No. I'm saying it's like that. When BC plays their red bandana game,
I agree.
you take them. When UAB plays their game for the kids, you take them. you just have to, and you're okay with the loss because some things are bigger than sports. You know what I
For
mean?
the
So,
kid. It's for the kids. Yep.
For the kids.
so I have 5 plays, and then my do or die I will save. So that is my card this weekend.
Whoa, Baylor's -3.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on my card, dude.
Shit. Yeah, add that to mine for sure. That might be a doozy. No, but anyways, Baylor. I have Bama -9.5 first half as well. North Carolina -13. Baylor -3. Already said that. North Carolina. No. Not. I was looking at Pitt -14 against North Carolina State. Decided to not go with that one strictly because of the football number issues. I do like Army here this week as well against Albine Christian to bounce back and cover -30 I have here. That's one of my secrets if you guys haven't caught on yet. It's these shit teams. And then looking down to the primetime games, I will I think Bama's enough there for that. Wait, so I'm gonna go with the Bama over as well. So I'll double dip there. Bama -9.5 first, or -9.5 first half, and then the over of 51, or is it 51.5?
51.5.
51.5. Okay.
Add to my card Georgia -6.5. Or
Okay.
I'll text you, but I'm adding to my card Georgia -6.5.
Just a one unit point like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I like Oklahoma State -21, or is it 20.5?
I'll check on mine.
Against Kansas.
Yeah, 20.5.
20.5. Okay. I love that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. FAU and Charlotte. Love that. FAU -5.5. Yeah, I don't know how that line is like that. The fuck. Anyways, I think that will do it for me though. I have a pretty large board this week. Don't like that Georgia Auburn. Yeah, Oklahoma. I was gonna take, if Oklahoma didn't shit the sheets last week, I would have hammered this Iowa State line for them.
Did you save your DOD?
Yeah, I saved the
Okay.
Dooskies.
The Dooski.
All right. So a couple of the games off our highlighted games are on my card. So we talked about SMU and Memphis. I'm staying true to my prediction on that game. I'm taking SMU plus the 2 points. Or 2.5 points.
Pussy.
2.5 points. And then I'm taking Texas Tech money line against Kansas State.
That's bold.
You
don't think they're dead?
I think Texas is better than Oklahoma.
Yeah, they just blew that 15-point lead against Texas.
Yeah,
I know.
They're not favored here. What the hell?
I know.
Kansas State just beat Oklahoma.
I know.
Oh, that's right. Wow, what the fuck? That line is okay. That line is kind of crazy. Yeah.
What is it?
1.5.
Where's it at?
It's at Kansas State.
It's 2.
Dude, that's tough. Okay, so you have Texas Tech money line though. All right.
Plus, it's at plus 110 right now.
Okay.
Because
wait. Before Ba Tech -10.5. Add that to my card against Duke. What the fuck?
Okay. Because you remember what happened last year when Kansas State beat Oklahoma?
Did they lose the next week or something?
They lost an OT to TCU.
I remember that. Yeah, I had TCU that week actually.
Awful. And so I just like thinking of that, like definitely could again. And Texas Tech is better than TCU, so I could definitely see that happening.
Okay.
And then so my next game, I also have the UAB game, so UAB -20.5. I got Kentucky. Who are they playing?
Mississippi.
You have them on your card. You know.
Yeah, Kentucky, Ole Miss. I just didn't have the team they were playing. Kentucky, Ole Miss under 61.5.
Ooh.
And then
Really?
yeah, I got Oklahoma. Oklahoma over 62.5.
Who are they playing?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Coming off a huge win for the boys.
Because I really wanted to bet that because I still think it's going to be super high scoring. Like both those teams scored like high 30s last week. I think it'll be a close game. Like Oklahoma will be kind of like bummed out that they lost, but they still have a really good offense. I think it's going to be 70.
He'll be pissed, not bummed.
I was gonna say I think they're ready to play.
Right. Even if they're pissed, like the over is gonna be 70 points easily in that game. I think. Cincinnati minus 21.
Fuck them.
Where are they playing again? USF.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
I
fuck
got
Cincy.
Texas over 64. I forget who they play. I made the card like a few hours ago.
That's fine. You have Texas.
Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma. Or no, that's next week.
It's TCU.
Yeah, Texas TCU over 64. And then my last one's my do or die.
All right. So my do or die. I'll start.
Yeah. I got eight plays plus my do or die.
Okay. I'll start. My do or die is SMU money line plus 113
Wow, I like it.
for 5 units.
That's crazy.
I'm going the dog at home. SMU's going to be fucking ready to play. They were going to – Memphis beat them last year. They're over it. Memphis sucks. They've had COVID problems. SMU by at least 2 scores.
So I might add a fuck you. Jacksonville State plus 26.5 at Florida State.
Dude, that – I mean, can Florida State even score 28 points?
That's what I'm saying. Like, can they even – they probably can even score 27 to cover it. But my lock, I think this is a really good lock. LSU at Vandy minus 20.
LSU at Vandy minus 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I'll have to double check. I have 20 and a half.
Okay, either way.
Okay.
How many units?
Just 2 units.
Okay.
Keeping the burger small.
There you go.
I might add something else to the Dooskies, but that's what it is for now.
Okay.
All right. And then mine's going to be Alabama over 51 and a half. I talked
You gave that away like right at the beginning of the show.
I said I really liked it.
You said I'll talk that later.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's his do or die.
Yeah, Texas A&M, Alabama. I think this is going to be like 64, 65 points.
What do you think the final is?
Like Alabama like 38 or 41, and A&M like 17 or 20.
Gotcha.
Or yeah, like so it probably like low 60s then, not like mid 60s, low 60s. But 10, I think they're going to cover by at least 9 or 10 points. And I'm putting 4 units on that.
Okay.
Wow.
So we all have one do or die play this week.
Yep.
Yeah, for now. You guys didn't like FA who against Charlotte minus 5.5?
They just haven't played, so I just can't really.
Who is Charlotte though?
I mean, they've at least
The
played.
Hornets?
Yeah. Chris Paul.
They're the 49ers.
Yeah, they have a terrible nickname.
They
But
played one game, lost to App State 35-20. And FA who just produced an NFL tight end who scored a touchdown last week?
Harrison Bryant, he's a stud.
It's got to count for something.
All right. Well, wraps it up. Another week. We'll tweet out all of our picks. So, Nagy and Olina played it safe, went 1 pick for their do or die.
Did you have 2?
No, I had 1 too, but I'm not on a losing streak. Olina's at a fucking lead right now in the unit, so me and Nagy definitely need to make up.
All right, hey, I'm making my do or die a 6-unit play. Fuck it.
All right, 6-unit play. Nagy needs it. He hasn't won a week.
You're
in
down.
NFL
You're down
or
it,
NCAA.
It has to be at least 5 from here on out, like for all my until I get close to you.
So you're down like 23 units roughly.
Yeah, I'm like 4.5 in the hole, and you're 17 and a half over, so 22.
Wow.
So, all right, we'll see you next week. Hopefully these two are – I mean, I don't know. I don't pray for losses because I want everyone to win, but, like, I mean, we're gonna get close to a TikTok off, then I'm good with that.
TikTok off, bro.
All right. See everyone next week.
Peace.